On the day of Emily Taylor's birthday, Jason missed their date to negotiate a crucial project. The girl drove drunk out of spite and died in a car accident. For 10 years, Jason blamed me. When I got pregnant, he tortured me to death. Snarling. If you hadn't dragged me to that meeting, Emily would still be alive. I'd give up everything to bring her back. When I reopened my eyes, I found myself back on the day of Emily's accident. This time, I didn't stop him. They crashed together. Emily survived. Jason died. On Stellar Tech's IPO day, Jason had sent me roses promising a surprise. Watching his televised interview, Grace teased, "How romantic. Stellar Tech obviously combines your names. Is the surprise a wedding? You've been married years without a proper ceremony." I smiled. Preparing candlelit dinner early. Nestling on the couch, I caressed my flat stomach, waiting to share my own surprise. Darkness fell before I realized I'd dozed off. The acrid smell of whiskey hit me first. Jason sat chain smoking in shadows, his eyes glinting dangerously when I stirred. "When did you get home?" I reached to smooth his furrowed brow. He seized my wrist violently. "Sophia, need I remind you what today is?" His voice turned arctic as he gripped my chin. "Emily's death anniversary. You killed her 10 years ago today." The accusation froze my blood. A decade. Yet he'd never moved on. Memories flooded back, that fateful day when Shaw Group demanded Jason's presence for negotiations. He'd wanted to cancel for Emily's birthday. After 5 years building Stellar Tech from scratch. I'd pleaded. "Just secure the deal first. She'll understand being late." He stayed. We got the contract. Then came the call. Emily drunkenly crashed her car after his no-show. At the morgue, Jason sobbed over her body, screaming self-blame. When I tried comforting him, he locked himself away for days. The man who emerged wasn't my husband of 1 week, but a stranger radiating hatred. Now his fingers bit into my arms as he dragged me across the floor. My struggle proved futile against his rage. When he flung me against the table edge, white-hot pain exploded through my abdomen. The metallic tang of blood filled my mouth as I crumpled, clutching my stomach. "Our baby," I gasped, grasping his ankle. Jason kicked free with a sneer. "Murderers don't deserve children." Numbness crept through my limbs as dark stains spread across the rug. His cold eyes watched without remorse while the world faded to static. Jason slowly crouched down, his hands gripping my neck like a madman, features contorted with rage. "If you hadn't dragged me to discuss that project that day, Emily would still be alive. You owe her a life. This is your debt to her." In that moment, I finally understood. To Jason, my carefully planned surprise had been a joke all along. He never wanted our child. His so-called surprise for me had been this torturous revenge ending in death. 15 years. I'd stood by Jason since college graduation, building our startup together. Enduring hardships. Exchanging encouragement. I thought us comrades. Lovers. Soulmates. Never did I imagine such hatred festered in his heart. As darkness swallowed my vision, his voice pierced through. I'd give up everything, just to bring Emily back. When I opened my eyes again, I sat in a conference room. No trace of pain remained. My trembling hands gripped the familiar yet alien mahogany table, the exact scene from that fateful day at Shaw Group. My pulse roared as Jason checked his phone beside me, conflicted expression flashing across his face. "Sophia, it's Emily's birthday today. I promised I'd be there." I staggered back, his phantom fingers still burning against my throat. Was that memory nightmare or reality? 5 years earlier, fresh out of college, we'd founded Star River Tech. "Let's name the company after both of us," he'd said, eyes shining brighter than the Milky Way painted across his workstation. He handled chip design while I built our team from scratch. We'd hustled for every contract, even pulling all-nighters to network with clients. I still remember dragging a drunken Jason home after one such night, his arms suddenly wrapping around me with unexpected tenderness. "I'll design the best damn chip. Sophia. Wait and see. I believe you." I'd whispered. Now I urged him with the same conviction. This Shaw Group deal could fund years of R&D without financial constraints. They specifically requested you. We'll wrap up the meeting quickly, Emily will understand. How naive I'd been. Neither our ambitions nor my existence could ever outweigh Emily's importance in Jason's world. Sophia? Jason's voice snapped me back. I'll hurry back. It won't affect the presentation. I steadied myself, forcing a smile. Go be with Emily. I'll handle this. His eyes lit up with gratitude. Just as he wished. I didn't stop him this time. As Jason rushed out, Oliver frowned. Where's Jason? An urgent matter arose. I apologized. I'll present the proposal. But the Shaw Group VP hesitated. Our CEO wanted to discuss technical specifics with Jason himself. Oliver. Every detail of this proposal was crafted jointly. Like our previous life. The world only saw Jason as Star River's face. Never knowing I co-authored every strategy. Whatever deals Jason could land, so could I. After tense discussions, Shaw Group reluctantly agreed, though their CEO didn't attend initially. I ascended the podium, channeling 15 years of partnership into 30 transformative minutes. The team's skepticism melted into awe. Just as I concluded, Michael entered silently, his piercing gaze devoid of warmth. Ms. Evans. His baritone voice cut through the room. What drove you into this industry? The unexpected question gave me pause. To breathe freely. I finally answered. To prove we don't need foreign approval to excel. To never again be strangled by others' limitations. A ghost of a smile touched Michael's lips, his eyes gleaming with something resembling approval. Ms. Evans. He extended his hand. I look forward to our partnership. Relief flooded me. History repeated, we'd secured the deal. Night had fallen when I exited Shaw Tower. Grace came sprinting. Panic-stricken. Sophia. Jason's been in a terrible accident. My phone showed multiple missed calls, including from Jason. I'd silenced it for the meeting. Grace gripped my shaking hands. Police said his car. There was another woman. She survived with minor injuries. But Jason, her voice broke. He died on impact. Above us. The Times Square-sized screen blared breaking news: Star River Tech CEO Jason Clark killed in Linjiang Road collision. Time froze in that instant. I snapped my gaze toward Grace, barely able to trust my own ears. In the few hours since my rebirth, I'd imagined countless ways to make Jason pay, but before I could even sort through my thoughts, he'd suddenly died. I stood paralyzed, uncertain whether to laugh or cry. A strange exhilaration shuddered through me. Primal satisfaction surging from depths I'd never known existed. Grace's eyes welled with tears, misinterpreting my stillness for grief. Sophia. You need to stay strong. It's okay to cry if. I bit my tongue hard, nearly choking on suppressed laughter. Jason's final words from our previous life echoed through my mind. I'd give anything to bring Emily back. Well, he'd gotten his wish, sacrificed everything including his own life for Emily. The police report chilled even my hardened heart. Both Jason and Emily had been drinking before the crash. For reasons unknown, Jason's car swerved into oncoming traffic, a collision that left the truck driver and Emily with minor injuries, but reduced Jason's body to unrecognizable pulp. At the precinct, Emily sat wrapped in bandages, her hysterical sobs dissolving into wordless wails whenever officers asked questions. Yet when our eyes met, she lunged at me like a rabid animal. This is all your fault. Jason only fought with me because of you. Orderlies wrestled her back as she shrieked, ultimately sedating the deranged woman. Chaos greeted me at Clark Technologies the next morning. Even the janitors watched me with pitying glances. In my office, lead engineers Daniel and Ben were threatening resignation. Without Mr. Clark, there's no reason to stay, Daniel declared, arms crossed over his lab coat. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the crowd. I let the discontent swell before slamming Jason's signed contract with Shaw Group onto the conference table. Listen carefully. My voice cut through the noise. Clark Technologies survives with or without Jason. I helped build this company from scratch, negotiated 90% of our contracts myself. One by one, I addressed each engineer by name, recounting their academic achievements and technical specialties. You think I forgot? Ben, MIT Robotics Ph.D. Published 3 papers on neural networks before we recruited you. Daniel, Stanford's youngest semiconductor design prodigy. The room fell silent as I unfolded the Shaw Group partnership documents. We're developing our own chipset. Walk away now. And you're abandoning the future you helped create. A beat passed. Then thunderous applause erupted as engineers surged forward with passionate declarations. We're with you. MS. Evans. Ben gripped my hand. Earlier defiance replaced by fierce loyalty. Tears blurred my vision as the war chant of keyboards resumed outside. This electric surge of purpose, was what I'd sacrificed in my first life. Never again. After the company stabilized, Jason gradually discouraged me from getting involved in business affairs. He'd always say he didn't want me overworked and wished I'd focus more on him. For our relationship, I eventually withdrew from corporate operations. Now that I've rejoined the team, I feel revitalized. It wasn't until the funeral home called that I remembered handling Jason's arrangements. Seeing him lying there motionless, the reality of his death finally struck me. The once handsome face now bore grotesque wounds from the collision. Mortuary staff had sutured his injuries. Emily came storming in before I'd stood there long, clawing at me through tears. This is all your fault. If you hadn't kept Jason from me, we wouldn't have fought. I wouldn't have, she broke off sharply. Sophia, you only care about work. Why cling to someone you never valued? Why won't you let him go? I shook off her grasp impatiently. Enough. Emily stumbled against Jason's body, pulling off the shroud. When she saw his injuries, she froze mid-sob. Tremors racked her body as she turned away retching. I shook my head. Same old Emily, all bravado masking cowardice. During my relationship with Jason, she'd constantly provoked me while he made excuses. She's like a sister, he'd say. Just childish antics humor her. Their childhood friendship made him tolerate her tantrums. My patience only encouraged worse behavior. She'd fabricate emergencies during our dates, and Jason would always rush to her side, leaving me waiting indefinitely. Emily used to flaunt her perceived superiority. But with Jason gone, her safety net vanished. Watching her dry heave, I stepped closer. You wanted him? He's yours now. Handle his cremation. Her retching intensified as she clutched her chest. You're vile. Am I? I sneered. Or is your precious Jason the disgusting one? I almost laughed imagining Jason's reaction to her revulsion. That's when his translucent form materialized above his corpse. Jason glanced at me sheepishly before frowning at Emily. Don't blame her. Sophia. Will compensate? Compensate? I pretended not to see him. So this was his true love, the woman who'd killed him. Emily's police interrogation came to mind. Why aren't you with investigators? I demanded. Emily paled. I told him not to drive. He insisted. We argued. My eyebrows rose as I glanced at spectral Jason. His supposed soulmate was blaming a corpse. Jason's ghostly face contorted with realization. She grabbed the wheel. That lying. His transparent hands clawed uselessly at Emily. Only I saw his frenzied movements. Am I really dead? Jason stared at his fading hands, weeping. Meanwhile, Emily regained composure. The police can't prove anything without witnesses. Jason's spirit raged through walls, howling unheard. I misjudged you. His spectral form warped like twisted rope. The puzzle clicked. Emily's evasiveness during police questioning now explained. This spectacle proved entertaining. Let the legal system handle this twisted romance. Justice would be far crueler than anything I could devise. Sophia. Since Jason is dead, you should hand over his belongings to me. I lifted my gaze slightly. Emily stood with arms crossed, radiating arrogance. Jason's company was massive. You can't possibly keep all that inheritance to yourself. A cold laugh escaped me. So this was Emily's game? The first love Jason had cherished for a decade turned out to be this pathetic? Your precious Jason dies. And you're not even grieving, just scrambling for money? Emily bit her lip defiantly. Of course I'm devastated. But I have every right to half this company. I stared incredulously. Where did this delusion come from? When Star River Tech started, Jason had nothing, an orphan surviving on student loans. I borrowed startup funds from my parents. While he focused on technology, I braved snowstorms and downpours to secure our first clients. We shared basement apartments, subway commutes, all-nighters preparing proposals, weathering client demands. Even if Jason stood before me now, I'd swear before heaven, without Sophia, Star River Tech wouldn't exist. Under U.S. law, I said coolly. The first-order heirs are spouses, children, parents. My smile turned razor-sharp. Seems you forgot. Miss Emily, I'm Jason's legal wife. No parents. No siblings. Exactly what claim do you have? Emily's lips curled unnervingly. I'm carrying Jason's child. Her hand rested on her stomach, eyes glinting with triumph. 2 months along. My baby is Star River Tech's rightful heir. My gaze snapped to Jason's ghost. He looked away guiltily. Betrayal clawed at my throat. This explained why he'd hated me so viciously in our past life after Emily's death. When Jason was alive, you kept meddling in his business. Emily sneered. He was sick of your control. Our marriage was a sham. I'm the one who truly comforted him. Beside her, Jason's spirit glared at Emily's ingratitude, yet softened when eyeing her abdomen. Sophia, he pleaded. It's my only child. For all our years together. Delusional fools. I cut in coldly. Proof this is Jason's? We'll do a DNA test. With whom? I advanced relentlessly. He's an orphan. No relatives. Unless I acknowledge it, with each word. Emily paled further. Meanwhile, I'm reporting you for vehicular manslaughter in Jason's crash. Emily's breath hitched. How did you? She clapped hands over her mouth, trembling violently. Cops are already investigating. I turned away from her ashen face. Enjoy prison. Leaving the funeral home, I returned to our old townhouse, Jason's ghost trailing me like a cursed shadow. This place we'd rented during startup days, later purchased as our sanctuary, now reeked of memories. Crossing the threshold, I suddenly relived my past life-death, miscarrying against this table corner. Jason's hands choking my last breaths. Terror and tears overwhelmed me until Jason's whisper slithered through the air. You still love me, don't you? Sophia? Why else would you cry? I smirked at Jason, scoffing at his naivety. What use do I have clinging to a dead man? When he saw my smile, Jason's eyes widened in astonishment. Sophia, you can see me? Clearly. I've been seeing you since the funeral home. His expression turned mournful. Sophia, why aren't you grieving at all? He immediately backpedaled. You must still resent me for slacking off. For abandoning you. I regret not listening. I rolled my eyes. Jason always overestimated his importance. His death brought me pure relief, no more scheming to reclaim the company. During our 5-year startup journey, Emily constantly derailed his focus. Whenever I warned him, he'd snap. It won't affect work. I'll be right back. I should have realized he'd abandoned our original dream, that tearful vow to design revolutionary microchips now ashes. Sophia, can you forgive me? Jason pleaded. I was drunk that night. Could you at least acknowledge the child since I'm already? Never. My sneer cut through his ghostly form. You killed any chance of forgiveness when you cheated. That bastard child stays unrecognized. He froze, gaze lingering like caressing fog. You used to adore me. Ignoring him, I packed essentials. Jason kept phasing through walls as I booked a hotel. This penthouse reeked of betrayal. His spectral form crackled with anger. Why leave? Our memories? Memories? I slammed the door on his delusions. Texting realtors to sell this hellhole. 4 days. His phantom tailed me everywhere, babbling nostalgia. Remember this Mercedes? Your 30th birthday gift. Ah. Right. Time to trade that reminder. At the crematorium, I cheerfully signed paperwork in my new Porsche. Jason trailed behind, translucent face contorted. When offered his ashes, I glanced at his hopeful expression and shrugged. Trash can. He's got no family. His crimson eyes erupted. Sophia. You heartless bitch. He howled curses the mortician couldn't hear. I'd consulted a paranormal specialist, complete annihilation required. You want heartless? I hissed. Who tried to oust me after I built your empire? Jason's form flickered. I never meant. Bullshit. Your fragile ego couldn't handle employees respecting me. Poor little CEO needing Emily's puppy-eyed admiration instead of actual competence. Every puzzle piece clicked, his hot and cold behavior. The emotional affairs. How ironic from the man who once whispered, "Thank you for staying, Sophia. This startup would have died without you." I'd endured Emily's presence believing in his loyalty. What fools we make for first love's ghost. Emily never nagged about drinking or ambition. He mumbled. I laughed, cold. Crisp. Final. The idealistic youth I loved died years before his pulse stopped. Let his ashes fertilize landfill roses. Tomorrow, Clark Technologies board would welcome their true leader. As Jason's screams faded, I texted Ben, begin hostile takeover procedures. My designer heels clicked toward the parking lot, each step crushing phantom whimpers under fresh asphalt. He also wanted me not to shine too brightly, afraid I'd outshine him. But those who truly glow never fear being overshadowed. He forgot I was never his accessory nor some trophy wife hiding behind a man. I have my own will. And my radiance needs no one's validation. Memories flooded back as I coldly stared at Jason. I forbade alcohol because of your chronic gastritis from years of business dinners. While I brewed herbal tonics daily to heal you, you kept abandoning the company to fool around with Emily, my voice caught. To this day, Jason still believed Clark Tech was solely his. Our company was built by both of us. I have every right to challenge your decisions. My words left Jason red-eyed and sobbing uncontrollably. I'm sorry. Please don't leave me here alone. He begged desperately. I love you. Remember our startup days? We promised to stay together forever. Sophia. You're all I have left. Let's go home. He kept romanticizing our past. But I felt nothing but annoyance. Eventually, Jason watched helplessly as his remains were incinerated and dumped in the trash. The wind scattered his ashes, erasing his existence completely. I sold our house immediately. All his belongings went to the curb. Clark Tech's partnership with Shaw Group flourished. Emily kept causing scenes at our office demanding inheritance. Her haggard appearance suggesting sleepless nights from guilt. Karma struck when she fell down her apartment stairs, losing the baby. Later, police discovered dashcam footage from a parked car showing Emily grabbing the steering wheel during their fatal argument. The collision with an oncoming truck left no room for denial. At sentencing, Emily glared venomously when she saw me in court. You may have one, Sophia. But Jason always loved me. His love was worthless. I whispered mockingly. I got every cent. His death came just in time. I'll enjoy his fortune with endless hot young guys now. 3 years later, Clark Tech dominates the semiconductor industry. I've become China's most promising entrepreneur, proving that solo climbers can conquer any peak.